Alright, so I had a little fun with my Google speakers, and it turns out, yeah, actually I can get it to play multi-room. But I'll have to roll back to the app that's around, I don't know, 2022. That's like 2 years ago. I have to roll back to an older version to get the multi-room thingy to work. Yeah, at the first time I see this, usually these tech companies move forward. Well, I guess for these home speakers, Google decided to move backwards, and they did 2 years back. They moved 2 years backwards. That is ridiculous. Further proves my point. I think interns are on to writing the programs for the Google Home system. It's absolutely awful. It is a joke. But hey, on the good side, I was able to get this thing to work. I was able to get this thing to play some multi-room stuff. I could get these two paired together. So that I can have one of my speakers in the bathroom and the other playing in my other rooms. The thing is though, it doesn't work with newer speakers. Now if I want to do that with the Polk Assist, it doesn't work no more. Oh God, Google, what a mess. Anyways, again, back to what I'm saying. The point is, if you're buying these speakers for the sound, go for it. They're totally worth the money, whatever they're charging for it. I think that is $99. Sometimes you can get it for like $59, $69, probably even cheaper than that. And this is, it used to be $400, which I think, by the way, is well worth it. I rarely say that about $400 speakers, but now you can get on eBay for like about 150 or something. Still very, very worth it. Although used, very, very worth it. Anyways, I'm gonna do a sound check. I'm gonna compare them to different stuff. I will compare this bad boy right here to something we've all heard before, the Tronsmart Mirror Tune S100, which I think it's comparable, considering it's about the same price range at $80, just slightly cheaper because it doesn't have all that smart assistant. While the Google doesn't have a battery, but, similar stuff. And then the Home Max, I'll compare the Earfun Uboom X against it, because I think at this point the Uboom X is like the holy grail of Huaqiangbeinator speakers, one of the best I've ever heard. Not just the best Huaqiangbeinator speaker, but the best speaker ever. So we'll see if the Home Max could beat the Huaqiangbeinator, Anyways, let's start from the smaller Google Home, and let's go from there. All right. The Google is, since the volume step increases gradually, the step size increases. So I'm going to be playing at around 70%. I think that's like the sweet spot for the speaker. And the Tronsmart is going to match the volume to the Google. All right. We still got time. Let's compare it with the Bogasing. Again, starting from the Google Home Nest Audio, the volume matched. The Bogasing has its volume matched to the Google. Alright, so I said that it gives you a pretty clear picture of how these two speakers compare, and as well as how the Google Nest Audio compares to the Tronsmart. Now, this is what I think. I feel like this Google Nest Audio, they really did something right. This thing sounds very, very good. One of the best good sounding smart home speakers I've ever heard. The only one that, in my opinion, in this size that beats it is the Polk Assist. That thing sounds just a tad bit better because of it has a bigger woofer and a better, bass response. But that does not mean this thing does not have bass. It actually has a pretty decent low-end extension. It goes all the way down to the high 40 hertz, which is better than both the Tronsmart and the Bogasing. It plays a lot more dynamic, especially at that bass range. It's better. It's louder at that range, around 48 hertz, somewhere there, where the Bogasing does not play at all, and the Tronsmart struggles at. So I think Google did something great. The only issue is, it doesn't have a battery, but it does come with a Google Assistant, which I really don't want to use. Again, the software is shit, but the sound quality is phenomenal. So if you want like a stereo speaker, I said you could get a pair of these. If you somehow can get the Google Home app to work and pair them in stereo, go for it. These would sound awesome for your desktop speakers. They're better than most of the stuff I've heard at this size. But if you're looking for a smart home assistant, then again, to make your life better, stay away from them. Let's do the bigger guy. Again, we start from the Home Max, playing at around half volume. And then I'm going to match the Earfun to it. It's also around half volume. So let's start from the Home Max. Alright, yeah, let's compare to something else. Alright, again, we start from the Google Home Max. And I present you the best of my creations so far, the Huaqiangbeinator Pro. yeah, there you have it. So, then again, this is all opinion based. This is my opinion. In my opinion, I think the Google Home Max sounds better than the Earfun Uboom X. It has more clarity to it, and the bass is more tighter. Unlike the Earfun, it's pretty obvious that there are passive radiators when it's the Earfun that's playing, which is fine. Some people like that. But I think, I personally prefer sealed enclosures. See, that's why I like ADS speakers that much. I think the Google Home Max just does a much better job when it comes to bass presentation. I think they both go about as deep. We're talking about audible frequencies. I mean, the Google Home Max is cut off, has a cutoff at a much lower frequency, but anything between, say, 25 to, I say, a good 35 hertz is pretty useless for the Home Max. Still, they both go down to the upper 30 hertz to still be usable, so like 37, 38. But I think the Google Home Max just has more control over the bass. Now, as for the Huaqiangbeinator, I think there's no contest. Then again, sound is a subjective thing. I think the Huaqiangbeinator absolutely dwarfs the Google Home Max, especially when it comes to treble. That clarity is just much better. It's not just a clarity of a certain frequency, like it's a certain pitch for the Google Home Max, just a certain frequency range. But that makes it sound really clear. The rest of it is just mediocre. But the Huaqiangbeinator is clear and airy across all treble frequency. And I think the Huaqiangbeinator, in my opinion, has even better bass. It's even tighter than a Google Home Max. Like I said, I matched the enclosure to be like a .707. But then again, the Q factor. Is it a Q factor? I don't know. That's just, I did all the calculations through the online enclosure designer and whatnot, and measurement system. I do my own TS parameter measurements. Maybe they're not accurate. I really got to go get DATS, but I'm happy with the results. And yeah, I don't know. This is a subjective thing. You might think the Huaqiangbeinator absolutely sucks, which is fine. Just like how Olaf's Gadget love his Earfun Uboom X. I totally get it, but unfortunately, that's not my favorite speaker, because it doesn't suit my taste as good as it suits Olaf's taste. We're back to this again. How sound is such a subjective thing. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found out that, hey, there's a bunch of cheap Google Home Maxes on eBay, and you should probably get one, because it's really that good, especially when it's only around $150. Anyways, there you have it, guys.